I've got a theory that I just want you to hang with me on. It's going to sound bizarre and crazy. I've been having the feeling, as have a lot of you, that I don't belong here, that I'm not supposed to be here. I want out of here. I want to find a way out of here. At the same time, I want answers for who we are. What am I doing here? What are we doing here? Who is God? What's the nature of our reality? And what's going on with the controllers who have all of us under their control, the Illuminati, the elites of the world? And why do we let them control us? Why do we live in a world that's filled with war, perpetual war, starvation, everything repeating over and over and over again in cycles? Even with the people that I meet, it's like meeting people who look different, but they end up acting the same, and it's just these repeated cycles over and over and over again throughout life and throughout history. So that led me to thinking how, aside from being online and on YouTube, and I know how some of you are going to take this, and you're going to take it all wrong because I'm trying to explain to you my perspective on this. Aside from being on YouTube and online, I feel like I almost don't exist. Like, you all recognize me as real. Out here, I'm invisible. I'm invisible. I see one person. I hardly ever see anyone else. When I do, they usually don't notice I'm there. Even if I go out in public someplace, people usually don't notice I'm there to the point of stepping on me, bumping into me, and not even saying excuse me. And when somebody does look right at me, they look at me with a look that I can only describe as fascination or horror, as if they've seen a ghost. So that gave me kind of a complex feeling, like that for a long time there's something very, very wrong with me. People react either by ignoring me or in that way. But I think this is the part those of you who are on the same path as me can relate to in your own lives, feeling like you don't belong, you don't fit in. The people who can see you tend to repeat their dramas out over and over again around you, and you get kind of sucked and dragged into them. Your opinion doesn't really matter to them. They kind of wash it away, like it doesn't really, they don't want to hear it. It's not part of their reality. So what I'm thinking is this is where it gets really weird. We're not living in 3D Earth anymore. 3D Earth met its maker. 3D Earth went through its apocalypse, went through its polar shift, went through its disastrous scenario. And some people who were ready, like we're right now looking for 2012 or for something else to happen, where people who are ready are going to move on to another dimension, and people who aren't. What if that happened already, and the people who weren't ready are now in 4D? Not 3D anymore, but the land of the spirit, the land of the dead. 4D. This could be 4D, the land of the dead. And this is why now, in history, we're hearing about the secret and the law of attraction. Because these are lessons for people to be learning. That, listen, you create your own reality, especially in 4D. In 4D, instant manifestation is possible. And especially collectively, it's like you're creating heaven and hell here. And what you think about is happening. What you expect is happening. And there are dark overlords who are kind of ruling over you in all this. But you don't have to be in that reality. You could go to 5D and be where you're supposed to get to. And then there are people who are here to try to wake people from the dead. And that's why we refer to people as zombies, the walking dead, the brainwashed, the sleeping masses, the sheeple, because it seems that something isn't right and we're trying to get their attention. And they laugh at us, they don't want to hear us, they want us to be invisible. But what if we went to 5D and then took on the mission of going into 4D and waking the dead? And it sucks, and it's sad, and it's lonely, because we're all distanced from each other all across the planet, because each of us has been put in a specific place in the middle of nowhere, whether it's a city or country or whatever, to try to reach those who are just completely in the realities they're going to spin out again and again, and they're going to create another apocalypse for themselves in hell, or in heaven, or wherever they are, and it's just going to be a repeating cycle forever and ever and ever, becoming more solid and more real as time goes on, the longer they believe in certain beliefs very strongly, the more likely those are to manifest. And we're here without any full conscious memory of what we just experienced in 5D, perhaps, to try and wake people up and bring them back home without having the rope tied around our waist. You know what I mean? But here we are finding each other online, and we're like each other's lifelines, guiding each other back, reminding each other of who we are or who we can be. That's how we look at it. Who can we be? Who are we supposed to be? Who can we be? And how do we get home? But what if we are? We all passed off 3D Earth and we experienced 5D and decided, okay, there are so many sleeping, dead zombies, so many dead zombies creating hellish realities in 4D. That we need to go back in and try and wake them up. But that's not easy, because you can't just tell people outright, because they think you're fucking out of your mind, and will try to have you locked up in their fourth dimensional institutions. I mean, think about it. You run around telling people you're dead, and that you're a ghost, and that they're all dead too. Where are you going to end up? You tell people that you see entities, which I believe are entities that exist in the fourth dimension, who very much don't want those who are trying to help people, guide them to the light, like in Poltergeist. They don't want that. They want people to stay here, so they're scaring the piss out of us, because if we can start to vibrate at the fourth dimensional fear level, then we lose our way back home and start creating hell for ourselves as well. So that's just my theory for the day, and it'll change tomorrow, I'm sure. Get the webcam back going, and I'm so happy. Alright guys.